Hi everyone. My name is Eugene and I'm a recovering addict. Yesterday it was an awesome day. We gathered the community to motivate them about the substance abuse, to teach them how dangerous is alcohol, how dangerous is drugs, and more especially to the youth. So we're giving back to the community to teach them how drugs are dangerous and other substance abuse. So thank you so much.
I'm also a counselor with the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. So I'm so happy today. Mangona Eugene Alonja. I'm so happy good things are coming. Not only are people going to be assisted in the issue of substances, but now you will also have a supportive mental health. And not only for Nina, but also for our parents and our families.
I know we addicts, we have meetings, NA meetings and so forth, but we have a problem with AMA depression and anxiety, traumas. We go to meetings, we attend meetings, the meetings are helping us as they are helping me. I attend my meetings regularly, but I've seen there are parents, abazali, they are struggling from this trauma, depression. So, Lana Siloncha group learner, is every Wednesday, like twice in a month. You come, I'm a parent, I'm a recovering addicts, we support each other. It's not like a meeting, we just talk to each other. How are we coping? How is it now? You're no longer trusting the boy, you're no longer giving him that platform, which has come, which past support group in a month, which is every Wednesday. Naye welfare center i-ofisi yami ingalepo tu banginikile ukuthi so sizokhuluma ngento ezinjalo njengoba ngibona abazali bangakafiki but sizophasa imessage.
Went through a lot of traumatic experiences during my active addiction. I had friends who were still losing my loved ones, people that I depended on them. And that experience as an addict, I used to blame myself for this was amazing, but then it's part of life, I guess. And I only realized that through reaching out.
To stop using drugs, I slept in the streets for 4 years, eating in a dustbin. Every street. If you guys know every street. Maybe abanye abazali bangidlula lapha estradini. Bengingcolile nginuka for 4 years estradini saseBree. Ngidla a dustbin. Ngingasafuna ukwazi ekhaya ngoba I knew ukuthi ama drugs ala ngiphanda la ngilala la. Ngingafuna seduze kwaba ama drugs. Ngoba mina at the time ngisafunda ama drugs ngangaqala elokushini. Kumele walanda edrobheni, yabona ukuthi edrobheni kukude. I used to walk to town maybe 4 times a day. Walking, ngiphethe imali yokugibela. But I would walk ukuthi ngisave ukuthi ngithenga ama drugs. Cabanga from Diepkloof to Hillbrow Inn. From Diepkloof to Hillbrow Street. 4 times a day. Going to fetch nje peace nje ezoqeda impilo yami. Ngempala into bathi ngethule. Impala namhlanje ngenze wayenza kana what am I apologies? What am I grateful for? Have I prayed today? Did I talk to my higher power, which is God? Did I reach out to someone? Did I help someone? Such things. Stop taking. Ngoba mangayenza stop taking. Zwana leza inkinga zanamhlanje. Mangivuka kusasa, uzovuka nazo futhi. But if imlala ngizisolve leza inkinga ngibale ngazo. Sasa it's a new day. New feeling, new things, new ways. As I said, it's a past. It's all in the past. And manipulation equal. My city, we have the disease of addiction. Manipulation equal. Umntana ngaphuma athi I'm attending meetings, guys. Ngilaleli kahle. Athi I'm going to meetings kanti libele uyabhema or uyaphuza. Thina ama-addict we are too much manipulative. Basibiza ngama-mafia. Thina we are mafias. Yitho esiphethe umhlaba. And maningabheka abantu abangena kuma-drugs, they are more educated. They are gifted too much. I-English ephuma la. Ngasukuma isoyi-1 ukurecover ngizwe i-English ephuma la. Profound English. Labantu baningi sinikiwe. uNkulunkulu sinikile, si-gifted. Abanye bakwazi art, e-rehab mangile kwenza ezinye izinto. Abantwana beni bayenza ezinye izinto. I-art bayadrowa. Bayakwazi ukumotivate, bakhuluma i-English, banama-skills. but I don't know this devil ongenayo ukuthi ungena ngamandla kanjani yaba but ngizocela Dr. Lethabo Kithini alifahla kwawo ngizamaya ke lona
that they keep giving it to me, right? Now I'm working towards a psychology degree. You understand? Because of the time, I am not yet, but I'm on my way. Well, basically what I do is I do addiction and trauma counseling. I specialize in addiction counseling, right? And a lot that was said here, resonates with me because I myself am a recovering addict, right? I'm close to my 7th year clean now from any mood or mind-altering substance. And nothing is new with everything that they've said. I look at all of these pamphlets and they tell my story. You know what I mean? Because I'm prone to depression, for example, right? I'm prone to anxiety, right? Eugene spoke about suicidal ideations. I've had those. As far back as I can remember, I remember, very young, why do I live, you know what I mean? I'd like to die, because I never used to feel like I fit in anyway. And this was way before the drugs. Please follow this, right? My life was unmanageable before I started using drugs in any way imaginable, right? I used drugs in actual fact so that I could manage my emotions. I never felt good about myself. I never felt like I could fit in anyway, right? Until I took that first one. It was magic, something happened within me. I was like, oh my God, I made a deal with myself that day, or I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. I remember. This is what I've been looking for all my life. That shows me that the drugs were never my problem. The drugs were the solution to my problem. What was my problem? My problem was the depression. My problem was the feeling of not being good enough. My problem was the fears and anxiety. My problem was that I felt disconnected from myself. Even in my own family, I felt disconnected. Right? I never felt like I could fit in anyway, until I took that first one. I'm glad my little brother's here today, right? All of my brothers are here, but my little brother's here today. I remember this one time, I don't know if he remembers, when they finally caught on what I'm using. I'm from right down the street, in Zone 4, right? And when people caught on that I was using, because I hid it, a lot, I remember he said, man, no way, no man, every day, like sinuses. I don't know if you remember saying that to me. Do you remember? You will answer afterwards, sir. But he said that to me this one time, like, man, when I've always, man, since it's been years, sinus, and that's what I've always been using. I'm here to say that it is a dis-ease, as Eugene did say, It's very complex to understand. I myself, as an addict, and I work in the field, I study this on a daily. But I still find new manifestations of this disease. So, what about somebody who's never picked up before? How are you going to understand that? That's going to be very difficult. Because I myself, I'm learning still, about my disease. It is not a moral failure in any way imaginable. The choice might have been to pick up that first one, But what we need to be looking at today is, what are we trying to, when I pick up that first one, what am I trying to remedy within myself? Because there's something that I'm trying to heal, and I don't even know I'm doing that. I'm not even aware. My brain is hijacked into believing that this is good for my survival. I cannot speak about addiction without speaking about trauma. I wouldn't be doing justice in any way, because there is a direct link between the two. Trauma is not what happens to an individual in any way imaginable. Trauma is what happens inside of an individual because of what happens to the individual, right? The trauma is not that I was just sitting there on a couch, looking at my father pass by, go to my grandmother, giving her money for me and my support, right? And then he just walks out and like, hey, boys, how are you? Trauma is not that. Trauma is how that made me feel. That made me feel like, oh, it's like, I'm not important. Trauma is not my mother taking my sister and moving to Pimville and leaving me here so that I can get a better life, As a child, I don't understand that. But if a file is created in my mind, that means my mother loves my sister more than me. Why am I being moved from Diepkloof? I'm going to Dobsonville, I'm in Pimville, why am I? And that creates a wound inside of me. Did she do it deliberately? No. Did he do it deliberately? No. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to stand here and blame my past, my parents, in any way imaginable. I am not responsible for that. They did the best that they could with whatever it is that they knew at the time, see. But right now, we have a better understanding, and that can help me now raise my children better and so break the cycle. Because what we pass down is not addiction, what we pass down is trauma, because I'm traumatized. This is how I was raised, and I've got these feelings about myself that I'm not good enough, so I project them outward, and I start to raise my children in the same way. And when I pick up that first one, see, that dis-ease of not feeling good enough goes away completely. Now I'm good enough. Now I can fit in. See, now I can look into the eyes. I can look at him straight, I see that nice, beautiful girl passing by. I can chase after her. Because that feeling of not being good enough, why would I not invest in that if it's doing so much for me? I put so much value on it because of what it does for me. It's not that they're delicious. No, I know a lot of delicious things, Yeah, like ramen raisin ice cream, that's my favorite, I promise you. But it does not do for me what that crack does. It does not. That yogurt, man, that I love, that bliss, does nothing. It's beautiful. See, if it was about the taste, I would choose any other thing, you know what I mean? I think I'd be like 800 pounds right now, right? But it's not, see, it's about what it does for me. So instead of treating the symptoms, which is using drugs, like using drugs is like the most obvious symptom of the disease of addiction. It's just a symptom. Somebody can go to rehab and get rid of the symptom, right? But if I don't do the work within myself, to heal the root of the problem, I will come out and I will still have the problem, Because all I did was get rid of the solution, how I used to cope with it and whatnot. See, I need better ways to deal with this, I love how we are approaching addiction now, considering the mental health issues, because we deal with dual diagnosis, some of them are just a result of using drugs. But there are others that are there way before you even start picking up, The drugs become just like my medication.
As people come in, others are in recovery, others are yet to be recovered. So I once had this client, I used to work in Zondi Jablan. It's a guy, Hamba Nomkhulu, uthi umkhulu uyi sort of like inyanga, umkhulu unembiza yokupeta for a person who is actively using, and uboy uthi no imbiza leya kamkhulu iyasebenza because now yena sekaclean. So now how important is your program? How important is the whole program from inside rehab to outside rehab? And can this person OMBs really stay clean, or do they have to be part of the program?
Mina ngifuna ukunika nje into enzeke ngami. Ngikhuluma nge-disease of addiction. Uthola ukuthi lokho ngiyophuza imbiza kakhulu njengami ne. Akala ngitrapini, akala ngitrapini kakhulu njengami. Mina ngilezi sisi. Ngagibela intaba, I went to psychiatrist. I went to churches, ngiphalazile ngafutha, ngithanda ngifutha ngicabanga ngeLexus. Maqedane ngempela. Mfundisi makathi ngomtheka manje uqedane ngempela.
As an individual, what do you believe? And if you have come to a realization now, I need to stop this. Whatever that you're using, it shall work for you. Because you came to a realization and you came to surrender that you are powerless over your addiction. And you need a higher power to restore you back to sanity. Understand? So if having to go to that traditional doctor to get that healing, it's not the powers of that traditional doctor. It's the powers that you inherit within you that helped you, your belief, your faith, that helped you to restore you back to sanity with that higher power that you have. But you know what? If people are miserable and people without the stop using, it will, because your willpower and your willingness and your honesty above all to yourself that you know what, I am done. Then it shall help you. But above all, how does God or rejection go to some? Until we're never aware, we try to know what I am done. I am going to do that.
Thank you.
That's a brilliant question. I love that question. My mother is a traditional healer herself. You know, she tried everything she could. You know, she even brought in some people from her own fellowship. You see, they have their own fellowship, right? As we do. You know, like I am, you know, they did everything, right? But if you're an addict like me, I'm saying that because maybe some are not, right? If you're an addict like me and I'm in recovery means healing, directly translated. I'm in healing, I'm in recovery, I'm healing. What am I healing from? From my past trauma, isn't it? And Imbiza, you know what I mean? I don't know if it can fix emotional wounds. I don't know if it can do that. Because that wound is still there. If I'm doing that, that means my problem is